Hello, how are you? My name is Elaine and this is my guest.
Hello, I'm Elaine Teo Mosimann.
And we're at the cozy corner of Steinway Gallery Singapore today, and I'm very honored to have Elaine joining us today.
Thank you.
Out of your busy schedule.
Thank you.
Elaine is from London, but she used to be living here in Singapore, and she's sharing with us her Steinway success story. So Elaine, very welcome.
Thank you.
And,
it's good to be here.
Thank you. And we enjoy hearing your play. And I understand that your father, Teo Hua,
yes,
has actually invested in 2 Steinway pianos.
That's correct.
To you,
That's
right?
correct. Yes.
The first one was the V, the upright model.
That's right. Yes.
When you were
when I was about 5.
Yes.
And my father always believed that it was very important to start off my musical education with a very solid foundation. Yes. And he has loved classical music for a very long time. So when it came to looking for something for me and my brother to play, he really pulled out all the stops and made sure that he bought the absolute best that he could he could find at that point in time. So we started off with the V upright when I was 5, and maybe
3 years later.
3 years later, we were even luckier. My father actually went and up to the Steinway factory and bought us a B model.
Yeah, which is a 7-foot concert grand. Yes, how lucky.
That was very spectacular, and I have a very close relationship with my piano. With that, I won the 2nd prize for the Singapore Music Teachers Association piano competition when I was about 10.
10, yeah.
And then a year after that, I won the 1st prize for the Singapore National Music Competition when I was 11. And so that was for the under 12 age category.
Yes. And what year was that?
That was, I can't remember. Must have been about 86, 87. Yeah. About 87, I think. 87.
Great.
So then subsequently, I finished my grade 8 when I was 12, and then I went on to take 3 diplomas, including the advanced certificate, the Licentiate from the Trinity College of London. And then subsequently, I stopped formal instruction when I was 16 because I was offered a scholarship to study at the Medical College.
Yes. I understand you went to Italy, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And you spent, what, 2 years there?
2 years there. So I did the IB there. And when I was there, I was fortunate enough to receive the tutelage of Dario De Rosa. He was one of the maestros in residence. They had a trio de Fiesta, which is a pretty well-known local trio there who ran master classes for deserving students, and so I auditioned for it. And that was really the start of my, in a sense, the opening up of the music, not having the formal instruction anymore, but also obviously having the instruction from a professional musician, really stretched and demanded out of me a whole new level of interpretation of the music. And I was lucky enough to play on the Steinway there too, so it was a nice D model. D, yeah?
Yes, the 9-foot
the nice 9-foot full concert grand.
How
absolutely spectacular. The keys to the studio, I could go and play wherever I like, and that I think I've been really lucky all my life to play on Steinway, and in a sense it's sort of being spoiled in that way, but in a nice way, that you really have the opportunity to develop your individual voice as a musician.
Yes.
And I now find that with the Steinway, I'm able to still play and get out of the music, out of the piano, out of my own feeling as a musician.
I wanted to ask you, maybe just share with the audience, when you play on the Steinway as a young child, because a lot of parents say, oh, the kids, it's too young, they are too young, they will not know the difference. Can you elaborate a little bit on that, based on your actual experiences?
Yes. I think the difference for young children playing on the Steinway, it's a little bit like if you're a Singaporean mom or a Singaporean dad, and of course you want to buy good fish to put into your child's porridge, and you want to get good ingredients and get good tuition teachers, and buying a Steinway I see is really no deviation from that philosophy.
Good nutrition.
When you've got good nutrition for the soul, really, I think the music, and I think with appreciation of music, when your ear is used to listening to the shades that you can get out of playing on a Steinway, which you can't necessarily get out of playing from another piano.
Yes.
And I mean, I've been playing Steinway all my life. I just had an opportunity to play on, the newest model here, and it is that funny feeling because now at home I just have
Other brand.
Another brand. A nice upright,
yes.
which I play at home with my little kids.
Yeah.
And now coming back to a Steinway again, it's suddenly rediscovering that there's so many nuances, there's so many shades of meaning. And I think for a musician, you need those ingredients. You need to have that ability to express all the different shades. And of course it challenges me as a musician too, because it forces me to, it teaches my ear.
Also, technically, it changes the way you play, isn't it? Which is very important.
There's a certain Steinway touch that you don't find anywhere else. It's a firmness, but it's also supports you. I don't know how to describe it. It supports you. Yes. So when you're playing the quick bits, it's there for you.
Yes, it bounces back quicker. Yes,
but at the same time, when you need to lean into it to get a certain feel out of it, it also goes with you. Yes. So I think what Steinway really, what sets it apart is just the unrivaled breadth and depth of expression. And for a musician, you know, if you don't have that made available to you, then you'll never know that you're capable of it. Yes. You never know that music is capable of it. And when you go to listen to a concert, your ear is not trained to pick up on that too.
Yeah,
so
that part is important because as a student, as a young pianist, even if you're only 5-10 years old, you are already picking up the nuances of sound. And if your piano cannot respond and react to what you just put into it, then the whole process of learning is lost because you couldn't get any feedback.
And you know, starting at 5, I mean, I can tell you a personal anecdote. My eldest son is now 5. We were listening to the music, and you know, I played the arabesque just now. On literally, at about half a year ago, so he was only 4.5. We listened to, and he doesn't play the piano yet, so he doesn't recognize melody or anything as such. But there were 2 bars of the orchestral version of, you know, the arabesque playing on the radio, and he turned to me in the car and said, "Mama, that's your song." You know, and this is a true story. This is somebody who has had no formal music instruction at all, who just gets a lot of it through listening with me, and he appreciates the fact that I play. Hopefully it stimulates his interest as well.
And it retains in his mind.
Clearly, the capability, the potential is already there.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
From all this passive absorption, it's already there. So don't tell me that a child who is so young, you know, it's wasted on them, because that's actually the window of opportunity that you have to really give them that full foundation. So that's what I would wholeheartedly say I experienced myself.
And I also know that eventually you went to Oxford, is that right?
That's correct.
Could you share some of your experience there?
Yes, when I was at Oxford, my music involvement continued with being awarded a music scholarship from my college, which was St. Hilda's College in Oxford. I was there to read psychology and philosophy. That was the degree that I then graduated in. And while I was there, I was offered the opportunity to audition for a music scholarship, which was traditionally offered to all the students in the college if they so wished. And I was fortunate enough to be awarded the scholarship, which was really quite unusual, because most of the time the people who win that scholarship tend to be studying music as a
piano major,
or piano or violin or etc. Whatever, because it was open up to different instruments. So I was quite unusual in being, I think, one of the first, if not the only non-music major person to have been awarded that. So as part of my engagement with them, I was given the opportunity to play little recitals for college, you know, part of the music society, etc. So that was all self-taught, but it also gave me the chance to further that musical involvement.
But now I want to just bring it back, is that, you know, had your father not be so wise back then to invest in your future with the 2 Steinway pianos, and basically give you the tools that you need, you know, to expand. So we're really not talking about just piano anymore. It's actually affected your whole perspective of life.
Absolutely.
The whole learning process.
Yes, I mean, we've spoken, like, for example, we talked a little bit about wine tasting as well, or art appreciation, or even as a career coach, which is my day business, the way I relate to people, my ability to read body language, my ability to catch little ways, you know, that picking out all the little nuances, in one way or another, is related to my musical training. I'm absolutely convinced of that. My love of literature, my love of, you know, understanding different meanings in a piece of theatre or whatever, it's all to do with your ability to appreciate, I think, the finer things in life to that extent. And I think having had the piano in my foundation is definitely a very large key part of that, because it taught me that there's so much potential to be expressed and to be
And just to round up this beautiful stories, that I also learned that you now live in London.
That's correct.
With 3 beautiful children.
Yes.
And your husband is has a really
Yes,
well-known operation,
yes.
not in music, but
Yes.
something similar
Yes.
we share in life with abundance of life is
Yes.
that we cannot have just one thing without the other. So
Yes.
I understand he's in the food business,
He is
the
in the
restaurant
food
business.
business,
Can you
yes.
just maybe share a little bit before we sign off
Sure,
here
of
with
course,
the audience?
yes. I'm very fortunate to marry into a very special family. My father-in-law, Elaine Mosimann, is a very well-known chef in London. He has run a private dining club that has catered to the likes of all the presidents and the prime ministers. He has catered for every single prime minister since Edward Heath, Margaret Thatcher.
My goodness.
If you go to the restaurant, the walls are covered with Benazir Bhutto, Yasser Arafat. Princess Diana used to come quite often, and we most recently catered for the royal wedding of Prince William and Catherine Middleton. So that was a really special event. I was there personally myself in Buckingham Palace, so that was a lifetime honor.
Fantastic.
You know, I'll never
Yes.
forget that. So yes, I have.
So you can see
Yes.
everything just works itself out
It really
beautifully,
does.
right?
It really
Yes.
does.
And,
Yes.
so thank you so much today.
Thank you very much.